This is the MGTOW Infinium here with another Infinium out and about. This Infinium out and about is entitled 3 You Don't Have To's. Now my brothers, I'm here at my favorite little meditation place, which is, it's a lock park, which basically you can take boats in and out of the intercoastal waterway, and you can also come down and launch your boat. If you have a boat and you have that type of money, you can come down and launch your boat. You can come and just enjoy the peace and quiet, walk around on the trails, that type of thing. But it is a nice little peaceful place, which if I don't get thrown out of here like I did a few months ago, it's quite enjoyable. But my brothers, getting to the 3 you don't have to's. This is just 3 things you don't have to endure because of your embracement of the MGTOW philosophy. Now, number 1 is hypocrisy. Now, my brothers, we all know that as MGTOW men, we encounter great hypocrisy. And that is in the form of being told that we men, because of the standards, because of our embracement of the MGTOW philosophy, we are told that we are mean, we are unacceptable to society, we are terrorists, we are all types of things that women, the feminist plantation state can label us as. We're evil, we're just despicable people, because we will not accept that we require our freedom. And in the requirement of our freedom, we require that as a standard, women, etc., not be in our lives because of the detriments that are posed, because of all the issues that we have to put up with, that it is better to not date. It is better to not cohabitate with. It is better to not marry. And because of those standards, we are called, again, just pure out evil. But my brothers, this is all hypocrisy. And I will show you an example of what I mean. Now, you might be aware of Lizzo, the singer, the famous recording artist, which in my opinion, she can't sing because there are female recording artists that can sing way better than her. But I digress. Lizzo, as we all know, is overweight, if you can say that. But she is on the plus side, I will say that. Now, she has called men on the carpet because men have spoken out, and particularly MGTOW men have spoken out, that if we were to have a woman, etc. in our lives, we would want to have her in the best possible shape. And so that is basically going against the body positivity type of thing that Lizzo is embracing, wherein you can be all types of shapes, you can do all types of things, and that's regardless of for instance, if you had an issue where it causes you to be overweight because of some kind of functionality in your body going out of whack, this is different from that. This is acceptance of a person being overweight and that person being disregarding of what would happen to their body and what the issues are posed by being overweight. And that has come into conflict with those men who are saying that the body positivity type of trend is nothing but mind vomit, and that again it promotes poor health in essence. So Lizzo has again come out and condemned men who come out against her embracement of the body positivity movement, whatever. Now, what has happened in recent days, Lizzo has come under fire from three of her former, backup singers, backup dancers, or whatever she has. I've never really heard Lizzo sing, so I don't know what she has. But she has come under fire from three of her backup dancers or whatever. And she is now being sued by these three. And the reasoning is, number one, she is intolerant of their weight. She has shamed them over their weight. She has created, number two, she has created a workplace environment which is hostile to them. And again, she has terrorized them. That's number three. She has terrorized them in all sorts of ways. So now Lizzo is being sued by these women because of what she has done. The same thing that she has come out against men who say that the body positivity movement itself is a big crock full of garbage. She has again shamed her very own employees. And so that, my brothers, is hypocrisy. It is pure out hypocrisy because on one hand, it is the same thing as rules for thee, but not for me, that Lizzo is pushing. Now, my brothers, when it comes down to the acceptance of hypocrisy, this is one of the main reasons why we should not accept it and why we should just walk away when women, etc., espouse hypocrisy in our direction, because they themselves do it in a manner that it is rules for thee, but not for me. And that, my brothers, is unacceptable in any way, shape, or form. If you're going to espouse that type of thing, then you need to abide by it. Just as we as MGTOW men abide by our philosophy, Lizzo needs to abide by what she is saying. You cannot come out and say that men cannot condemn her because of this issue, because of the acceptance or the embracement of the body positivity state that she is in, or the embracement of the body positivity movement, or whatever they call it. And then at the same time, say that men cannot say that because of their embracement of a philosophy that says that they have the right to their dignity and they should not accept what is beneath their dignity, what is beneath, what is unacceptable. That's what is happening, my brothers. We are being forced as MGTOW men to accept something. Again, the rules for thee, but not for me. We are being forced to accept that hypocrisy, that what we live by, we cannot have, but what they live by, they can have, and they can enforce it upon us. And that, my brothers, again, is unacceptable and something that you do not have to deal with. Now, number two is you do not have to accept what simping does for you. My brothers, you may be aware of what happened yesterday on August 4th, where there was a riot in New York City because of an influencer named Kaye Sinet. I believe that's how his name is pronounced. But this pixie, basically, who was famous on Twitch, I guess Instagram, YouTube, this and that, whatever, who has millions of followers, I believe, he decided to have an unauthorized gathering in New York City where he was going to give out computers, I believe PlayStation 5s, I believe that's the latest iteration of the PlayStation series, gift cards, all types of things. And because he did not plan this thing properly, it turned into a wild riot which really got out of control. And if you look at some of the images and the footage of what happened, it is shocking as to what happened. But my brothers, again, if you look at the details of what happened, and not so much about the computers or the PlayStation gaming systems and everything, because my brothers, I have no issue with computers. I have a lot of computers myself. I don't game. I have nothing against people who game just for enjoyment. And this is not about that type of thing. It is about what was done and what happens to you when you simp. And again, this pixie, Sinet, he caused a situation where simps who bow down to him came to this area of New York and rioted and did all types of things, tore up property, all because of the desire to get a PlayStation or a computer or a gift card. And I would submit to you, my brothers, that Sinet knew what he was doing. He did not have any intention of giving out anything, because that's what happened. They found that he did not give out anything because it was so out of control. So that leads me to believe that he did this for the mere purpose of drawing attention to himself. And so that means that he caused thousands of simps, basically, to descend upon this area in New York City for the purpose of trying to get something that they would have no chance of getting. That's what he did. So it was a fruitless endeavor that this guy caused, that this pixie caused. And you will see, if you look at the footage and the images that happened in New York City, you will see where Sinet was fronting in terms of saying, I don't want any trouble, I don't want any chaos and everything. And he pulled out some gift cards and said that basically I'm here to just do something right for New York City. But yet he caused this condition where people got arrested, were caught up in rioting, people's businesses got destroyed, property got destroyed, all for the purpose of pumping himself up, of bringing attention to himself. But my brothers, what I want to get at is the majority of those people, majority of those men, those young men that got into this situation were, in my opinion, simps. And my brothers, this is what happens to you when you simp. For instance, there was some footage of, I believe it was one of his SUVs. They believe Sinet was in the SUV, but there were people hanging all off of this SUV trying to get what they would never get. And you will see as the SUV traveled along, a couple of people fell off. There was, I believe, a guy in a white shirt. He fell off of the back of that SUV, and I saw his head slam into the pavement. And so he had to have been injured. And so, again, this guy, a simp, jumped onto the back of an SUV running down the streets of New York City, only to slide off and fall down into the pavement. And he hit his head hard. I saw his head bounce just for the effort to get a gift card or a PlayStation 5, my brothers. That's what simping will do to you. It will cause you to be in situations like that where you are caught up, where you are doing foolish things, and you wind up in situations where you slide off of the back of an SUV and pound your head into the pavement, and all you have is an injury, and you don't have the thing that you went and sought for. That's what happens with simping. And that's why, my brothers, I say there is no nobility when it comes to simping, because you will not only be caught up in situations like what happened to Sinet, you will be caught up in situations where you as a simp are caught up in the cray-cray of, for instance, marrying a single mother, of defending that single mother, and then caught up in a situation where you're possibly deleted. That's what we mean as MGTOW men when we say don't simp. Because again, my brothers, when you simp, it is not a good thing. And it could get you deleted in some cases. Again, Sinet could have just done this give out online. It could have been organized. It could have been done in such a way that nobody got hurt, that people got what they wanted. But my brothers, he did this thing. And because of the simps who ran out there and tried to pump this guy up, or I would say unwittingly pump this guy up, those people who all ran down there, ran down to New York, ran down to the area of New York to get something which they would never get. That's what happened to them. They got nothing. And what happened was an embarrassing situation, again, where all types of things happened. And that's what happens again to you, my brothers, when you simp. That is the danger of what happens to you when you simp. And that's why, again, that is another reason or another thing that you do not have to do in terms of your embracement of the MGTOW philosophy. Now, my brothers, the third thing is that you may be aware of is the divorce between Tina Knowles and Richard Lawson. Now, Tina Knowles is known as being the mother of Beyonce Knowles. And Richard Lawson is an actor. And Tina Knowles and Richard Lawson are famously known for an incident which happened a couple of years back where Tina Knowles basically embarrassed Richard Lawson. And she did it on live TV. She basically threw him under the bus, so to speak, and basically emasculated him on public TV. And whether or not you saw that, my brothers, again, if you do an internet search, that footage is out there. And you see the looks on his face when she said the statement that she did. Basically, again, she emasculated him on the airways, out in the public. And to tell you the truth, my brothers, if it was me, I would have immediately walked out of that interview and I would be on the phone with my lawyer in terms of seeking advice about divorce. Because the inevitable happened this week between them. Tina Knowles filed for divorce. And so that means that he put up with having his dignity stripped from him, putting up with her cray-cray, putting up with her narcissism, all these types of things. Now, another thing that happened this week was Mia Khalifa. She is basically a 304, and she has come out with her reasonings why you should not stay in a relationship or stay in a marriage. Now, she has been married twice, and she has been in one relationship which has also failed, so that's 3 times for her. And her reasoning was she as a woman, etc., was wasting her life by staying in a committed marriage or relationship, and that she could, at her whims, throw away that relationship. Even though when their vows said, when all types of things are happening, she can emasculate men. She can take away their dignity, make them lose hope, make them sorry, make them sad in their hearts. And it is no consequence to her because she has the right to do that. She has the right to take away dignity. And that's the same with Tina Knowles. She has the right to strip away a man's dignity, a man's hope, a man's integrity. That is the third thing, my brothers, that you do not have to deal with, and you should not have to deal with. My brothers, you have a right to your dignity, to your integrity, that when you, for instance, marry, and you stand at the altar and you take those vows, and you in your heart, you are sincerely committed to those vows. For instance, there was some footage last week or so where a man was standing at the altar with his bride, and he took his vows, but she would not. And she laughed and mocked him and made it clear that she did not have to take those vows. And again, my brothers, if it was me, I would have walked away. But this man stood there and had his dignity and his integrity stripped from him. My brothers, again, we are condemned as MGTOW men because we do not allow our dignity and our integrity to be stripped away from us, to be mocked, to be laughed at, my brothers. We will not allow it. And my brothers, you do not have to. My brothers, I said all these things to say to you is that, again, because of the constant criticism and condemning that we go through as MGTOW men, I want to remind you, my brothers, of the importance of the philosophy, the incomprehensible nature of what you are embracing. These are just three major things out of a multiplicity of things which the MGTOW philosophy affords you. And so, therefore, my brothers, it is not a thing of cope, a thing of hiding away from society and hiding in an eggshell where you're protected. It is more than that, my brothers. It is everything and anything about your life. And so, therefore, my brothers, again, consider these things. Consider just these three major things as you go about your day. And consider how, again, the MGTOW philosophy has freed you from all these issues, from all the types of things that are going on within the feminist plantation state, and has most of all, my brothers, put you on a pathway which is leading you to freedom, and which has put in your heart the desire to be free and the determination to be free. And my brothers, why it is necessary to look at what the MGTOW philosophy affords you versus what is being told to you that you should deny yourself of. Again, at a basic level, we are being told to deny our freedom. And my brothers, that is not what we should be doing at this time. If anything, we should be redoubling and doubling down on the efforts to be free in every way possible. We should be ensuring that that inner simp is on lockdown and that he is permanently locked down. We should be ensuring that we stand up for our dignity. We stand up for what is rightfully ours. My brothers, again, these things are rightfully ours. Our freedom, our dignity, our worth, they are rightfully ours. And my brothers, there is no system such as the feminist plantation state that should be able to tell you otherwise. You deserve to be free. You deserve to be the man that has his dignity and his self-worth. You deserve to be free. You deserve your dignity. You deserve your self-worth. My brothers, again, that is why the MGTOW philosophy is profoundly important to your lives. It is not a trivial thing, but again, it is a profound thing that opens up every area of opportunity which finds its basis in your freedom and your ability to be free as MGTOW men. That's what it is about. That's what being a MGTOW man is about. It is about knowing who you rightfully are as a man, and not what the feminist plantation dictates to you or tells you what you should be as a man. And that, my brothers, again, you as a MGTOW man should live in freedom, walk in freedom, and have the determination to do the aforementioned, because you have the fundamental right to be free as a man, no matter what is said to you. This is the MGTOW Infinium, and this has been an Infinium out and about. My MGTOW brothers, as always, stay safe, stay strong, stay on the MGTOW path, and remember, MGTOW is the liberation of men's minds. MGTOW cannot and will not be stopped.